लोहा में my stand है।
वन्देयं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं साधुतं सवैजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण सहगना ललिता श्रीशाखान्विता ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशकारिणे वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
So this is the Rangadevi group, and traditionally it has been the group which has our international segment, and we have our Mumbai councillors, their families, Krishna Chandra Prabhu, Mukund Prabhu, Rastaparayan Prabhu, who else? Shidama Prabhu. For those who may not be aware, these yatras, am I audible? You were audible? Can you hear? No? Yes? We may have some place here for those who are in the sun. You can move a little bit here if you want. You can sit up here also. It's cool. The sun is a bit scorching in this. You can sit. So yatras were kind of used by Radhanath Maharaj for building up communities, relationships, and 25, 30 years ago we were not even aware as to which place we are. We just know that early morning just leave with Maharaj, come back dead tired at around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And like in one Navadip Yatra, we used to have them cook prasadam and send it by transport vehicle. After observing our patterns for about 2 days, the Mayapur devotee said, "Why do you guys have prasadam ready at 2 o'clock and then you start serving at 4:30 in the evening?" So he was asking the manager, "Do you get some kind of," he didn't use the word asuric, but some kind of weird satisfaction in serving it cold? And he said, "No, we wish we could start serving at 2 o'clock. But at around 1:45, the class would begin. At around 2:45 or 3 o'clock, Maharaj would ask, should I stop?" And guess what? "No, please continue." It was in one Jagannath Puri Yatra that Maharaj had, you can see the recording yourself, one of the most exhaustive Jagannath Leela from Skanda Puran, from so many other places. And he asked, should I continue? And the devotees, that time there was no shade like that. It was really, really hot. He said, "Even if you don't say, I am going to continue." So, if anybody has the doubt that Chaupati Yatras are a bit taxing, they are. In fact, they are less taxing now that we have speakers like me. Anytime you can just get up and say, "Hey, it's enough, I'm going." We didn't have that luxury back then. Maharaj used to come with us in the morning and come back late. I think one Italian couple said that one Karthik we walk 10 kilometers every day minimum in the Brahmandal Parikrama. The next year, for the Gaurmandal Parikrama, we walk 10 kilometers every day, 7 days at a stretch. And in the upcoming Karthik, we are with you. You take us on buses. Early morning we leave by bus, come back by bus. It's only 3 days and we have reached the end of our teacher. We never felt so exhausted. So, what is it that we do? I said, we don't try to exhaust you. But anybody having the same feeling? Yeah, sure. So, those of you who have read The Journey Home, you can understand Radhanath Maharaj, one of those few personalities who met Prabhupada in India. That too, he was a Brajvasi here. He had that strong attachment for Vrindavan. And then he was told to relocate, go back to America. He writes, if you remember the last few pages of Journey Home, that I felt like a stranger in America. And then about 2 decades plus of serving in New Vrindavan, once he said that I met people I would not have associated them with my pre-devotional life, but if you have to serve with them, and this is hearsay, but maybe Chaitanya Prabhu or somebody who knows, they might confirm. There was a stricture on Maharaj that you are not supposed to speak of Vrindavan. Because if you start speaking, people might leave Vrindavan and come here. Anybody heard of that? Or you did? Okay, so I'm not speaking here. So there was a rule that you should not speak about your India travels or whatever happened. And then he was yanked out of his Pujari Seva and just told to preach in colleges. He said, the first time I went, I was thinking, what should I say? Material world is full of problems. And he said, just like the Vietnam War, just see that there will be no peace unless people are spiritually realized, they become God conscious. And he said, I noticed the audience was like, so after the class, he asked someone, he said, the Vietnam War was over ages ago. Where were you? They didn't have a rock. So that was his beginning. But he's a genius as far as making contacts, making relationships is concerned. There was one professor, and that professor needed that we should read his good books. So he allowed the devotees to do programs there. So Maharaj spoke about those Vietnam War days when the youth, they had that enthusiasm, they had a desire to change the world. Where has it all gone? Everybody is a conformist nowadays, just a job, bigger house, bigger car, family. And that professor, Maharaj made him go back to his youthful life. He had tears trickling down his eyes. I also don't know what I am doing, rotting here, teaching these kids who have no interest in what I am teaching. So yeah, it happened. Then Maharaj said, I have some cookies made by my mother for you. And that sealed the whole thing. You are a Swami, you have baked cookies for me. So then we asked Maharaj to be pressed on. He said, I didn't lie. My mother is in Chicago, I am here. So obviously she did not bake them. But some lady in New Vrindavan did that. And as a sannyasi, I am supposed to look on all ladies as my mother. So it was not inaccurate that my mother baked it for him. So thus began almost 10 college towns. They are having regular programming. And then Maharaj was told to come to Chowpatty. Bless whoever made that decision. And as soon as the counseling system kind of began, I don't get the name, but this sannyasi asked me, you Chowpatty people have counseling. So how does it work? The devotee is in a reclining couch or something, and then the counselor sits with a notepad and says, okay, whatever. So you were told not to take prasad that day. And from that day onwards, you bear some animosity towards this. So, alright. I said, who told you that? No, you guys say counseling. He was using the traditional Western way of understanding what counseling is. I said, no, it is like a mini satsang. Yes, sir, mainly come together, they discuss katha, chant, dance, take prasad. He said, oh, I had a completely changed idea of what counseling is. So for many years, he was the only one who knew what he was doing. And for almost 8 or 10 years, when he would be there in Chapati temple, the counseling sessions would go. After he goes back to America, it would stop. Those who are from India, you can understand this word. For vehicles, we call it dhakka start. You can translate it into American, whoever wants to know more about it. Dhakka start means vehicles don't start on their own. You need to push them from behind. So that's how he pushed. And no sooner than this congregation program kind of began, the yatras started. I was not there, but I was told that first yatra there were 2 buses, and a lot of mismanagement. Now today it seems like a surprise that how can there be mismanagement? There is only 2 buses. And Prasamrit Maharaj, Bhakti Prasamrit Maharaj was the one, and Maharaj said, we should make it very systematic. And he agreed. And after that, we began this sequence of Vrindavan, Mayapur, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Vrindavan, Mayapur. With Dwarka added one time, Naimisharanya, Ayodhya, South India, Ramanujacharya's disappearance anniversary, 1000th disappearance anniversary. So we said, we should go to South India. And my God, that day it was Tirupati, Srirangam, Kanyakumari, Rameshwaram. Anyone remember that? Oh, it was 5 yatras in one practically. At one point of time we had to change buses. So I saw this Siddhama Prabhu and others, they walked on the top of the buses and they called the buses together so that you don't need to bring the luggage down and again put it up. From the top itself it was transferred. Anand Gopal Prabhu is a good friend of mine, so I don't think he will mind me taking his name. First time convert to the Chapati Yatra model. Gets up in the morning, climbs the bus and sees 2 leading counselors having a mild to severe verbal altercation. And if you know a little bit about his background, in his small group he was known as the party man. He would be told to arrange something, so he has a high social index. So the first thought which came to his mind was, in the spiritual yatras, hey, it is the same thing which I see outside. People having difference of opinion and having some big argument. That very moment he decided that I am going to take this Krishna consciousness with a huge pinch of salt. I am not aware that this chanting brings love and compassion and understanding. Why are you so pensive? It does. Chanting makes you feel very happy. Yes, we have to work on ourselves, but so that day, the whole day passed without him getting that resolution for what he saw early morning. But he said, I'm going to give it a try. The next day again the same bus, same time, and he saw both of them bowing down one chakal. He didn't understand what they were saying, but one chakal Pataru and embracing. He said, what I saw yesterday is the norm. What I am seeing today is an exception. So, smart understanding of what happened. So this is how we all come here, we understand things. Otherwise, for many of you, how many are first timers in Barsana or Vrindavan? Not many are veterans. So, you been to Nandagram? You've been there. So Nandagaon means the place of Nanda Maharaj. There are the ruins of Nanda Maharaj's fort. So very quickly and briefly, Krishna appeared in the prison house of Kamsa. From there transferred to the place of where Nanda and Yashoda stayed. But a lot of demons started attacking. So from there, Krishna Balaram were brought to a place which is very near our Krishna Balaram temple. The current name is Chatikara, but the original Sanskrit is Shakatikara. Shakatasur, the cart Asura, cart demon, that is the connection. From Shakatikara to Deeg, there is a place called Deeg, this is a Deeg highway. So then Kamyavan, this group has gone to Kamyavan? No. So next time, actually Kamyavan and these places were so far away when they used to stay in Vrindavan. But now because they are staying in Govardhan, they are now within striking distance. So hopefully the next alternative time when we come here, we will try to maximize this spot for your viewing pleasure, visiting pleasure. After Kamyavan, finally, Nanda Maharaj settled down at Nandagaon. Nandishwara is Lord Shiva. And he wanted a benediction that he should become a mountain, so that on that mountain Krishna can play, he can take the dust of his lotus feet. As Nanda Maharaj made that move, his close friend Rishabhanu, King Rishabhanu and his wife Kirtida, who are the parents of Radharani, they moved to Barsana. Barsana, Varshana means showering. What is showered? What is showered here? It is the rasa. So I plan to tell as many stories as possible, then we will look at it from a Siddhantic point of view. After this program, we are going to visit the temple of Ladili Lal. Ladili is the dear endearing name of Radharani here. Ladili basically means very dear. And Lal means the same thing for a male. So Ladili Lal is Radha and Krishna. Just remember that. Radharani lived here on that hilltop spot where the temple has been built. She originally appeared in a place called Raval. But from there, when Krishna moved, she also came here. It is described that both Nanda Baba, Nanda Maharaj and Rishabhanu were massively opulently endowed, very rich. Today, Well, today India is again becoming a bit rich, but more in the currency, paper currency, cryptocurrency and all that sort. But actually that time they were rich with grains, milk, yogurt, butter, food grains, cows, land. So in one class, Prabhupada says that the ancient Indian way of calling someone rich is Gavayo Dhanvan Dhanyena Dhanvan. If you have cows, you are rich. If you have a lot of food grains, you are rich. So the cows you get milk with food grains, you can eat them. I don't think most of us, what we manufacture in our offices, we can eat that. Right? We get the money, then we buy something. So somebody else does the job. Like Prabhupada was in Ahmedabad. So he said, what do you grow here? They said, tobacco. He said, why don't you grow rice, wheat, jowar, bajra, cereals? They said, no, with the tobacco we get cash and then with the cash we buy rice. Now in my study of economics, I thought this is a common sense thing. We were told there is a cash crop. For those who know economics, a cash crop. Get cash and buy food. What's wrong with that? It's only with Prabhupada you understand what's so massively wrong with our current civilization. So, here this temple which we will be visiting was built in the year 1675 and as Nandishwar, Nandagaon, Brahmachala. Lord Brahma performed tapasya for only 60,000 years. And what was the goal? I should be seeing the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I want the dust of their devotees' lotus feet on my head. So, as we join ISKCON, we have our own lingo, isn't it? Our own internal talk. We have our own definitions. A devotee is called transcendental. Why? Because it is weird. Every class is wonderful. And reading Prabhupada's book says tapasya. It is. Prabhupada also acknowledged that. That's how you should do it. So the first time I remember I read the term aspiring to be a servant of the servant. And honestly, it took me by the shock that why I should be a servant. When Prabhupada was in Japan, there was this printing press company, Dai Nippon. And the Japanese custom is everybody comes and presents their visiting card. So the top boss, number 2, number 4, like that, they came. And then there was one officer assigned for the BBT job. So Prabhupada took some opportunity of preaching to him. And he said, so I have met your company bosses. What is the goal of your life? So the table having 6, 7 visiting cards, he collected all these cards, took out his one from his pocket and put it on the top. Very symbolically, I want to become the boss. So then Prabhupada started talking, what's the big deal in becoming a mundane boss of a mundane organization? But nothing penetrated. Prabhupada, right. So this idea that we have all come here to boss over, we have all come here to rule or whatever. Perhaps maybe I think too much, but I was thinking when I read for the first time, I said, no Prabhupada, I didn't come here to rule or something. In Australia, there was a heckler, there was a person who would always make fun of somebody who would give a lecture or whatever. And in a publicly announced class, the devotees were horrified to see this guy sitting in the middle. And they thought maybe he should not be trouble, he should not make any trouble. But right in the middle of the class, he raised his hand. And the devotees were like, oh no, what's going to happen? So he said, Swamiji, I have a question. And somehow graciously Prabhupada said, yes. You said that the sun, moon, stars, they move around, there is a law of planetary motion, everything works in a clockwork fashion. I want to inform you that I do all these. Now guess what? If someone accosts you like that, in the midst of a class, your train of thought is stopped. So Prabhupada looked at him, split second. Prabhupada said, everybody in this material world, even the insect thinks that everything revolves due to them. How are you any different? For the first time, he was completely nonplussed. Are you any different? No. Then sit down. He never uttered a word till the end of the class. So this idea that we are servant of the servant of the servant, kind of hard, and that's why this process looks so difficult, honestly. Sometimes in conflict, we find devotees saying, if only he accepts that he is under me, things would be so nice here. If only she understood that I am the boss. That's the whole problem. We are told to internalize. And who are our role models? If you go to Nandagam, you have Lord Shiva. He wants to become a servant of the servant of the servant. Here in Barsana, we have Lord Brahma. 4 heads. There is Dangad, Mangad, Angad, Vilasagad, these 4 peaks. By the way, we have our Bhaktivedanta hospital, newly built, and from that terrace you can see all 4. So next time when you come, you have to visit. So is it so difficult to admit that I am not the controller, I am not the proprietor? Since it is. And therefore, like yesterday Maharaj made a very nice point. Krishna shows some very beautiful things, high, sublime, through the experience of his devotees. And he also does the opposite. Like yesterday we discussed Indra's thing. Now why would Indra be utilized for such a thing? So we know the first half of Indra becoming proud, that should reflect on our lives. The second half, when Indra actually surrendered, that is the main lesson for you and me. I think Maharaj also told about a devotee had a name. Many times Prabhupada's disciples would say, imagine coming from the west and your name is Jnana Gamya Das. Like Gurijan Prabhu, he got the name Gurijan. He said, while the way cycling back, I was telling myself, I am Gurijan. One mother came and told Prabhupada, at least you would have kept my son's Christian name. What was the problem? Because for the mother it's like, this is my stamp, this is my byproduct, and it's true. They thought Prabhupada is like taking away everything from them. So this particular devotee, when he asked, Prabhupada said, look, the name has 2 parts. There is something in the beginning and then there is the last. Focus on the next part. Even if you don't understand anything about the first part, if you understand the second, job done. So this temple was built in 1675. It's very ancient, and what can I say? There are a million places here where we would be talking for hours and hours and hours about each and every spot. So Krishna would come from Nandagam, Radharani in Barsana, and they would meet. But where to meet? There's a place called Sanket. Sanket means a signal. And I'm just parroting. I have none of this realization, whatever I've read here and there. When the moon has a smiling face, that is the time to meet. So, Purnamasi would arrange all of that. There's a very narrow place where like two mountains meet, and the Sanskrit is Sankirna. So from Sankirna comes Sankari, Sankari court, where Krishna would do the tax exacting pastime. He would tell the gopis that, I am the boss here, I am the king here. This particular place lasts about 10-15 years. This must be 10 years old, not more than that. It was actually shambles, but now it looks really gorgeous from this my point of view. Fountains and whatnot. You didn't even have a place to sit and have katha here. At least the government has done some renovation. Huh? Oh, he's saying our devotee, Gaurampur is involved in the beautification? Okay. Clean up. Okay. Yashoda Mai and Kirtida are very close. By the boon or blessing of Durvasa Muni, just see Yashoda Mai's concern for Krishna. The moment she heard that this girl, she satisfied Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni blessed her, saying, whoever eats anything you have cooked will have a long life free from any disease. And she said, I don't want her to cook. So from that time onwards, we sang the Bhog Aarti yesterday, how Radharani is cooking. So please read that carefully. That will give you an understanding of how Radharani was invited. And by, Yashoda Mai was thinking, maybe she is a good bride for my son. And one day, she actually acted upon her impulse. She got close of Radharani, had someone make turmeric paste, haldi is called, haldi. And she applied that on her palm. And Radharani, in a mood of surrender, she said, well, what is it? Now it was time for her to come back home. Now, in today's time, we really can't understand, Indians can't understand Indian culture, what to speak of those who are in faraway land. One devotee, he got married in Indian style, and I asked, what realizations you have? He said, why do Indians have to get married for one whole day of ceremonies? Maybe it is to stamp upon your mind, you are married now. There is no escape. But of course, we here in India, we thought, sometimes marriage ceremonies go for 3 days. Anybody seen 3 days of, whole day? In fact, young girls or grooms, they look forward for that. So, let it be just an intellectual note. We can't see that nowadays. Okay, I am tempted to quote one fellow, G.K. Chesterton. Now imagine a British guy, 1890s, and they were pressing for a divorce law that make it as easy as possible. At that time he made a note saying that frivolous divorce will lead to frivolous marriages. Just think about it. So, why Radharani was thinking in the way she was? Because it has deep cultural implications. So as she came here, she saw that my palms are all yellow with haldi, turmeric paste, and it means I am being engaged. The groom's family, they do this ritual for the bride to be. So in utter embarrassment, she came, she saw this kund over here, and she washed her hands. Wash your hands of an affair or something, or something which you don't want to do. She washed her hands, no evidence, life was normal here. The next day, the villagers saw the whole kund has become yellow. So Pila or Pili is the Hindi word for yellow, and Pili Pokhar. If you go to Bengal, you hear the word Pukur. So Pokhar. It is also called Piyal Sarovar. Alternate name for that. Now a little bit of understanding the philosophical background behind Radha Krishna Leela. It happens to me, if I am making a confession, that whenever I hear Krishna Katha, read Krishna book, my one intellectual mind says, how do we make sense of it? How do we make sense of it? We are all taught that, suspend your intellect and suspend your logic. At the same time, Gita, Bhagavad, Chaitanya Charitamrita, they say that use your logic. Don't destroy it, but like elastic, it won't stretch too far, it will snap. So just for some tension, you need to have that. So what is the rasa? We say that barsana, barsane, barsano, rasake barsana. Rasa is showered over here. Which particular rasa? What exactly is rasa? Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj translated rasa as mellow. In the last 1 year, did you use the word mellow in your office or conversation? So this is archaic English, old Victorian English. Nobody uses that. But are we bereft of maybe not the word being used, but what about the context? Like you're mainly India or even a metro in New York or whatever, and you see somebody on his mobile phone and what happened? What happened? They saw a YouTube short or Insta reel, but what exactly made them laugh? Something humorous? Somebody sat on a cake, or somebody slipped a banana peel or whatever. What rasa is that? Which rasa? Hasya rasa, the rasa of laughter. And no doubt these comedy videos are popular because life is so much of horrible around. Surprisingly, as if that horror is not sufficient, people go and watch horror movies also. You pay for them, isn't it? Not free. Why? Reality is not that horrible? Or, I don't know much now, but Maharaj gave a class about some movies which were called tear jerkers. You go with a Kleenex tissue with box with you, and India we have our genre of tear jerkers. सास कभी बहू थी और बहू कभी सास होगी और दूध कभी छाछ था, whatever, all these kind of things. So in saas ke, this is for those who understand Hindi humor. But you get the point. So that rasa is karuna rasa, tragedy. Now Krishna is Rasa-Raj. In the words of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he is an emporium of rasa. Old Indian English, you will find people having shops called cloth emporium, which means all varieties are available, all shades are available, all types of cloth are available. So Krishna is called the emporium of rasa. There are 5 primary, 7 secondary rasas. So Krishna shows his opulence by that enjoyment. He is only meant to enjoy. So we come here in this material world having that competition mood that if he can enjoy, so can I. If he can do it, so can I. Why should I? But that's like a 4-year-old kid seeing his father shave, says, I want phone. Okay, here is some phone. I want a razor. The father won't give him a razor, look at him. So he gives him a blade without he gives him a shaving system without any blade in it. So as the father is putting foam and shaving, the son also does the same thing. Without any facial hair, how can they be shaved? So we imitate Krishna in everything. And Krishna's pastimes, they are shown so that we stop our foolish imitation of Krishna. Rather than being competitors, we become cooperators. So read the Bhagavad Gita to see whether there is any ras over there. There is. There is Sakhya ras, which means the rasa of friendship. The right one friend has over other. Even in managers, it's called collegial power. You agree to submit to someone because there is trust. So, Radha and Krishna, they are the symbol of conjugal love, which is called the highest. There is no comparison to that rasa. Krishna in the spiritual world has his companions. Like we have to call them ladies and girls and women and male, but actually they are all Satchidananda Vigraha. There is no body and a spirit soul inside. It is all spirit. There is one thing which is lacking. Now that may sound strange. Why should something be lacking in the spiritual world? What is lacking is the Parakiya ras. The feeling that I don't belong to Krishna. I belong to some other family. And then there is attachment to Krishna. The attachment is from the spiritual world. The feeling of being separate is of this world or this particular atmosphere. So Krishna has expansions, millions of them. Advaitam Achyutam Anandam Ananda Rupam. Radharani also has expansions. Krishna's expansions are all male, Purushottama. Her expansions are on the Shakti part, Shakti expansions. So, at least we cannot find fault with the Gaviya Acharyas for not making it very scientific. You may or may not agree, but the science is there. So the 8 Sakhis, have you heard the word Ashta Sakhi? Ashta 8 Sakhi, friends of Radharani, they all are together in the spiritual world. But here, when Krishna showed this pastime for you and me, they are born in different villages nearby. They also are married to something resembling a husband. Yeah, because they can't be anybody else's property except Krishna. So one question may be raised, if you want Krishna, you can go and take him. Why get married to somebody and then pine and lose your bearing for Krishna? I got his answer due to one childhood memory. There was a tamarind tree with tamarind pots. And as 10, 12, 14-year-olds, he would take stones, throw at some tamarind pot if something falls. So we used to get 4 or 5 of them. And there was a wretched old hag. This woman was so nasty. She would shout abuses, she would throw stones. The moment she would know that these boys are trying to steal the tamarind pots, she would come running and then we would all run out of that place, hide somewhere, wait for things to normalize down, again go there. And one day, a vendor came with a huge cart of tamarind pots, and I took some money from my parents and we purchased them, and then we had a small feast. What was our realization? It's good, it's plentiful, but it lacks that excitement. In Hindi they say chori ka maal. No English translation for that. So this stolen property always tastes sweet. Don't quote me on it. Last week, 3 or 4 thieves, they broke into the Louvre Museum in Paris and they carried only about $110 million worth of jewels. Guess what? Check it for yourself. People are appreciating them. What thieves? What ingenuity. The whole thing took only 7 minutes. Of course, in this world, we appreciate the work of thieves when somebody else's property is stolen. You don't go appreciating a thief saying to the police that, oh, what a marvelous job, I lost so much money. No. Why? Because it is a perverted reflection of the original rasa. The gopis would be begging Krishna to come, and we heard the pastime yesterday, that let Krishna come and steal something. So similarly, the term which is appropriate for Radha Krishna's love is lawless love. Lawless love. People want to love each other with fetters broken, shackles broken, and all of our Bollywood talks of to hell with the world. I'm with you, you are with me, and I just need you, and then a ration card and a 1 BHK flat and a small job in some coding company, whatever. That all paranoia gets added. You actually cannot just see each other's eyes and be satisfied for the rest of your life. But we want to imitate, so we talk the talk, but we can't walk the walk. That's only Radha Krishna can do. So the distance is to nourish that love. They belong to Krishna, but they can't meet. Radharani just, okay, I'm doing a poetic link, bear with me. Radharani is complaining to her friend that I have 2 eyes. Now we see with both eyes. If there is only one eye, then it's very difficult. So she says, one eye is on my elders. Are they watching me, watching Krishna, watching me? I have to be careful. It's called Maryada. She has to put her pallu always like this. One half of the two is solely focused on my elders. The other half, most of it goes for household work. The Vaishnava poets call it Nayanera Kone. Kona means an arc in geometry, small arc. Nayanera Kone means seeing from the corner. So she says one half gone for household work, looking at the elders, this one for other things, and a tiny part of that is available to see Krishna. What kind of life is this? This is the rasa of this soil. This is what we should relish here. So the mood of separation is a mood. There is no reality in separation. It is just a mood. So, read the Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, Daivim Prakritim Ashrita. Hey, wait. Krishna is saying that those who really are Mahatmas, they are under my Daivi Prakriti. So how many Prakritis you have? So Krishna says there is the Daivi and there is also the external potency. You, me, all of us are kind of suffering the threefold burning misery because of taking shelter of the external potency. Now we have the prerogative to transfer our attention from category A to category B. That independent knowledge is ours. No one can take it away from you. So this is the hint in the Bhagavad Gita that great souls, they stay as Radha Dasyam, as servant of Radharani.
मधुकरी लेके आई बस आई
अभी क्लास के बाद
ठीक है यहीं बताइए
She has brought some foodstuffs for us. Madhukari. So this is the Dalibhav. So, even in the Gita you will have the shelter of Radharani. The Bhagavatam is one level higher. We may think Bhagavatam, 10th canto, you have to read 9th verse in order to reach. No! That's why Prabhupada gave Krishna book. For those who will not be able to reach up to, people do read Bhagavatam, no doubt about that. One friend said that best tranquilizer. After a hard day's work at the office, take your second canto and Krishna is supreme, the demigods are subordinate and the three material too tough. But that's how it is. Inch by inch. Now there is a program called Page by Page Become a Sage. Isn't that? So, read Bhagavatam wherever you can. Right from while coming here I was thinking, do we have Radharani or the Gopis mentioned only in the 10th canto? No! They come as early as Uddhava's prayers, 3rd canto, remembrance of pastimes in Vrindavan. So the milkmaids or the Gopis of Vrindavan, their high standard of devotion is sung throughout Vedic literature. And the 10th canto, of course, is the apex 10, 30, 28. That's where Radharani, a hint of her activities are mentioned. Anayaradito nunam. This gopi must have worshipped Krishna very perfectly. This is how the gopi describes Radharani. And of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the very beginning you will have Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Alladini Shakti Rasma. Radharani's love is a manifestation of the Ladini potency. So to summarize, 10 minutes. So Krishna doesn't have three potencies. He has three categories of potencies. So please understand this carefully. So Sat potency keeps everything as it is. Sat means also sublime. Asat means degraded. But the main quality of Sat thing is to keep everything, maintain it properly. Sandhini, the next category, is to see that the existence is maintained and it is nourished. So Sat is eternal. Chit is awareness, cognizance. If not for chit potency, Krishna will even forget that you joined the Hare Krishna movement, you chanted so many rounds. If you say, my Lord, I am ready, I am liberated, he says, who are you? Acha, you can be pure devotee, but sorry man, I don't find in the records. You say, Maharaj, all these years and years of chanting and serving Vaishnavas and Dham Yatras, and he is saying, I am not able to find your record. No, don't worry about that. The chit potency is there, she is aware. There is the praise in one of his prayers, Oh Lord, Namo Alayaya. Laya is what happens when I start to chant. That's called laya. You cannot focus. But he says, my Lord, you are Alayaya, eternally. There is never a time when Krishna is not aware of even one spirit soul wanting to become a devotee. I think in the Queen Kunti lectures, Prabhupada said, let the whole world decide to become Krishna's devotee. No shortage of mercy. Or no one becomes a devotee of Krishna. Krishna is not lamenting. Hey, nobody carried my name today. No. He has his, we offer our prayers. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda, isn't it? After every Vansha Kalpatru, we say, Ananta Koti. Where are those Ananta Koti? Up there. The best of the devotee. Here, you might not agree somebody is a devotee or somebody is not. You might say, I will offer Vansha Kalpatru, but he has to be a Vaishnava first. So this is how we are. We have doubts whether somebody deserves my Vansha Kalpatru prayer. But they do. So Krishna has Sat, the chit, awareness. But still there is something lacking. It's like a recipe with everything except one critical ingredient. So Sat feature gives you Brahman realization. Sat and Chit combined makes you Paramatma realize. God is everywhere. Light. Like today, New Age people, light, enlightenment. The localized understanding of God is what yogis get. But we, aspiring Vaishnavas, bhaktas to be work in progress devotees, we aspire for the Ladini part. Because that takes. So just remember one kirtan where you really felt this kirtan should never end. Or some prasadam item that, whoa, this really is suffused with devotion. I'm not looking at the ingredient, I'm looking at the mood behind it. Srila Prabhu said yesterday, I hope this is what I remembered. Any idea who made the Manasi Ganga cake? Was it from Bhagavad? There was a Manasi Ganga cake made yesterday. Any idea?
Mataji, Haripriya Mataji.
See, this is Vaishnavism. Instead of in the outside world, the blame is being put on others. Here, the credit is given to others. Thank you for that. So, whoever were made it over a tea, and as Maharaj said, you cook with those raw materials which we gave. The cake was made with that on a earthen pot, earthen chula. So let's give a big hand to this fantastic thing. We have had the satisfaction of Mother Kulangana coming with us on Yatra once at least, maybe twice. After that she became very, very infirm and she could not even continue. And of course, I think Shivra Maharaj said, anyone who eats these sweets will understand what Krishna relishes in the spiritual world. So this is how we are so fortunate that we have I think this is a big divide. Relish the object or relish the mood behind it. And you will find that as you advance, this is a test for advancement. You graduate from the object to the mood. That's part of it. So we saw how Gita, Bhagavad, Charitamrita, they talk of the gopis' love. Prabhupada told that my father, he would pray to sadhus that please bless that my son be a devotee of Radharani. Just see, Gaur Mohan Day, Prabhupada praised him as a pure devotee. Krishna Mukhi dedicated to his father. And the last point for the day today, as this 40-day voyage is about to end, Prabhupada is crossing the Atlantic Ocean, and he was a poet, a gifted poet. His friends would call him Kavi. And that two-part poem, one is, why Krishna you brought me here? And the other part is, Krishna tava punya habe bhai, ei punya koribe jabe Radharani khushi habe. Prabhupada is addressing us like any conditioned soul, that my dear friend, oh bhai, oh brother, I am emphatically telling you, if you want the mercy of Krishna, Krishna tava punya habe, if you want mercy of Krishna, a punya, that punya you will get only with the mercy of Radharani. So even before Prabhupada has met Americans, he doesn't know whether he is staying here or the body or what kind of people. We are fortunate that a resident of Golo Vrindavan was sent as a postman, as an emissary to teach all of us what that love is. So the purest of Golo Vrindavan mellows is what Prabhupada came to give, is what this Brahmachal Parvat here is what Nandeshwar is. This is the soil of this rasa. And Parakiya Bhave Gaha, what is the last line? Yeah, that's Prajate Prachar. So we are meant for that, but not as easy goers. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur warned, when our men will try to take things lazily, they will become the biggest sahajiyas. Why? Because we know, we are people in the know. Like when a spy decides to act against the interest of his country, the damage is incalculable. When a head scientist becomes a rogue and sells state secrets, he can inflict maximum damage. Similarly, by coming here, understanding Radha Krishna pastimes, and then taking the easy route, ruination. That's the best part to ruin your life. Let us follow strictly as to how Prabhupada has given us authorized new parampara purports and perfect our lives.
Thank you very much for being such a kind and patient audience. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. We'll just discuss in 2 minutes what are the places we can visit in this. Yes, yes, Hare Krishna. So we also have a drama, and after this announcement, since Sridhama Prabhu and team will perform a drama, and one important announcement is generally what happens. Other groups they come and visit the temple, but they were carrying their shoes up to the mountain. But now we have two choices. Our two volunteers will sit here. They will take care of our shoes temple, and the temple is just 5 minutes walk from here. So those of you want, you can keep your shoes here, take darshan, come back, collect your shoes, and then you can board the buses. But the problem is if you carry the shoes up to the mountain or the temple, then there is no guarantee that you will get the shoes back. So it's better that our two volunteers will wait here, and systematically we will keep the because there is no one coming here now again. So that is one choice for all of us. And then after we are in today, we have only one darshan, that is main Sriji's temple. After taking darshan of Sriji, those of you who really want, you get a Reliance province or Radharani's call, you want to visit some other more places, you are most welcome. But our buses, the last bus will leave at 1 p.m. right? 1 o'clock. So after that you will not get the buses. Then you will have to take another any toto or rickshaw from here. So better you take darshan only of Radharani, come down and then board the buses. So I'll just speak a little bit about the places here. So this Barsana has 4 mountains which are the expansions of Brahmaji's 4 heads. And the first temple is Sriji temple, Radharani temple. And the meaning of Sriji is, Lakshmi is called Sri. Sri means one who takes pleasure in serving Narayan. Lakshmi is always massaging the lotus feet of Narayan, and she is very happy in serving Lord Narayan's lotus feet. Therefore she is called Sri, opulences. But Radharani, she is called Sriji. And the meaning of Sriji is, Krishna takes pleasure in serving Sri Radha. Now the first case, Lakshmi ji, she is interested in serving Narayan, and she is happy in taking shelter of Narayana's lotus feet. Therefore she is called Sri. But Radharani, Narayan himself, Krishna takes shelter of Krishna, Radharani's lotus feet. Therefore she is called Sriji. So that temple is a Sriji temple, that is eternal resident of Sri Radha. The next mountain is, this is called Bhanugad. Bhanugad means Vrishabhanu Maharaj, Radharani's father, and after that become Bhanugad. From Bhanugad it became Bhanugad. So the first mountain is Radharani's mountain, and it is her eternal residential place. The next mountain is Dangad. So there was one king from Jaipur. He built a beautiful palace made of red sandstone. So he wanted to ship the deities of Radha Ladli Lalji from Bhanugad to Dangad. And he was very pure-hearted Vaishnava. So Radharani came in the dream of this king and she said that, please don't relocate me. This is my eternal place. I am happy here. But I really appreciate your service. So he didn't do that. So Radharani eternally resides in the first mountain. And the second is, actually there are hundreds of leelas, we don't have so much time, I'm just giving you the names. The second mountain is Dangad, and on the Dangad you will find that Kushal Bihari temple, and there is one place where Radharani and Krishna, they were having a swing festival, Julan festival. On the same mountain there is also Mora Kutir. Mora Kutir means a place where Radha and Krishna dance like a peacock and peahen. So Radharani, when she was in a sulky mood, Man Lila, so Krishna, to give pleasure to Sri Radha, he came in the form of a peacock, and he started dancing for the pleasure of Sri Radha. So later on Sri Radha became so pleased, he also took a form of peahen, and both of them danced as a peacock and peahen on that mountain. And there was one old devotee, the blind devotee, and he saw that vision, although he was a blind, but he had a divya chakshu, he had a divine vision, he saw that dance, and he made a beautiful picture, painting of Radha and Krishna in a peacock and peahen form dancing. So that painting is still there. So that is the second mountain. And the third mountain is Bilasgarh, where Krishna and Radharani and Gopis they perform Rasalila. And fourth mountain is very beautiful, amazing, where Krishna and Radharani is in the Mana Leela Bhav. So in a sulky mood, and Krishna is up there very high above us, our head. So these are the four mountains, and our Barsana is in the center, and all the 8 Sakhis, Lalita, Vishaka, Sampaklata, Indulaka, Sudevi, Rangadevi, all these 8 Sakhis, they have their own villages. They are exactly surrounding the Barsana. Uchaka is just behind that. So all these Sakhis places are also there. Just as Raman very beautifully explained the Pili Pokhar place. Next to Pili Pokhar there is a kund called Prema Sarovar. Now this Prema Sarovar is a place where one time Sri Radha, she was with Krishna. She was lying on the lap of Krishna. And then there was a drummer or a bee, bumblebee. That bumblebee was really disturbing Krishna. So Krishna called Madhumangal, his Brahman friend, and he said, "You please drive him away from me." So Madhumangal came and he drove him away. And then Madhumangal, he spoke in Sanskrit to Krishna that I got rid from this bumblebee. Now bumblebee is also called in Sanskrit Govind. So he said that I got rid from Govinda. That only the Brahman is not already gone away. Now Sri Radha, she heard that word that Madhumangal has got rid from Govinda. Although she was in the lap of Krishna, she was just sitting close to Krishna, but then she thought that Krishna also left me. The Govinda is Krishna's name, and Govinda also is called Brahma. So she thought that Krishna has left me. So she went in ecstasy, in that Viraha Bhav, love in separation, and she started crying. By seeing Sri Radha crying, Krishna also started crying, and both the tears, Radha and Krishna's tears, they form a lake or a kund. It's called Prema Sarovar. Now our Acharyas give beautiful explanation. Our Gaudiya Sampradaya is called Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give a mood of love in separation, not just love in union. And why this Viraha is so important, within 1 minute I'll just explain and we'll start the drama. Ayodhya, Manthara, she tells Kaikeyi, you please banish Lord Ram. You send Lord Ram to the forest for 14 years, 14 years. Now Kaikeyi is asking the question to Manthara, why only 14? Why not forever? Then Kaikeyi says that if you banish it for Kaikeyi for forever, then the whole Ayodhya was they will rebel. But then she said, why not only 10 years or 12 years? Then she says, according to the material calculation, if you love someone, if that person is away from you and no connection, no phone call, no letters, no talk for 14 years, then that person is as good as dead for us. If for 14 years there is no connection, or verbal or phone or no talk, no letter, then that person is already away from our list. He is now gone from us. He is as good as dead. So therefore after 14 years this Ayodhya Vasis, they will forget Lord Ram, and then the problem will be solved. Yesterday Induli Ramaswamy Maharaj mentioned in his class that the Gopis and Krishna and the Vrajavasis and the Krishna, at least for 100 years they were away from Krishna. So according to material calculation, they would have completely forgotten Krishna. But the moment, every day by day, their love was increasing, Because our acharyas give beautiful explanation why this viraha is so important. Because physical proximity is not so important. The moon is stationed in the sky and the lotus flower grows in the lake which is on the planet Earth. How much is the distance? Moon is in the sky and the lotuses are in the pond. Thousands of kilometers distance. But simply by the touch of the moon rays, those lotus flowers, they blossom. Although the physical proximity is like there is no connection. So similarly, although Krishna was present in Mathura and Dwarka and the gopis were in the Vrindavan, but because they are constantly thinking about Krishna, so therefore this viraha bhav, it increases his love for our beloved. Just like I love Premanjan Prabhu. Now there is union. Me and Premanjan Prabhu are sitting here. So now when I am together with together we are here, I can see that Premanjan Prabhu is present in front of me. But when Premanjan Prabhu is not here, he is somewhere else, then I am in separation from him, then Premanjan Prabhu is everywhere, towards my left side, towards my right side, towards my in front, the back, everywhere. So that viraha prem is million times more than union prem. In union you are just one to one standing each other or sitting with one another. But in a viraha, that person is in the consciousness, that person is everywhere. So therefore that prema sarovar represents viraha bhava. So what this gopis love is, that is called unmaryada. Our love is maryada, limitations. But the gopis love for Krishna is unmaryada. There is no limit. Just like a river flows in two banks, there is a limitation. But for gopis love, there is a flood. There is no limitation. I'll just quote one line and then So, Shankaracharya was just 7 years old boy and he wanted to take sannyas. So his mother said, "Beta, no way, because father has already passed away. So she said, you are the only now center for me of protection. You can't take sannyas." So Shankaracharya one day he was taking bath in the river and his mother was standing on the bank. So Shankaracharya, by his illusory power, he created one fake artificial crocodile. And that crocodile caught hold Shankaracharya's feet in the water. Now Shankaracharya started crying, his mother started crying. And then he said, "No, please someone save my child. He's just 7 years old." And Shankaracharya started speaking to his mother, "Oh mother, you please give me permission to take sannyas. If you give me permission to take sannyas, this crocodile will leave me." She said, "Really, better, you can do that?" He said, "Yes, you just give me blessings and permission." She said, "Okay, I give you blessings." And then Shankaracharya looked at the crocodile, "Hey, go away from here now." And crocodile left. And as soon as he came on the bank, the mother said, "No, I will not give you permission." So he said, "No, you have already given me the permission." So Shankaracharya, he cheated his mother. Right? And Ramanujacharya cheated his wife. Ramanujacharya, somehow like Prabhupada's realization, Ramanujacharya, my Mataji's also wife was not so cooperative to him. So one day Ramanujacharya wrote one letter. And he sent his letter to his own address. Like as if like in his father-in-law is writing the letter. So he is writing a letter to his wife that, "Beta, I am very sick. You please come and visit me." So Ramanujacharya's wife gets the letter and she said, "Please see my father is not there." Ramanujacharya said, "You must go now." When she went to her father's house, she came to know there was no letter. So Ramanujacharya said, "No, please stay with your parents. I am going to take sannyas." Now you see, Ramanujacharya cheated his wife, Shankaracharya cheated his mother, because they are unmaryada. Their love is like a flood situation. Our love is maryada, flow in only the two banks water. So we should not imitate, just like Prabhuji said that our sampradaya is very high, but we must follow the strict rules and regulations. Then we can get this bhava. So this Prem Sarovar, Pili Pokhar, and then Damgad, Mangad, Bangad, Vilasgad, and then Sankri Khor. There are hundreds of other places. You can individually come some other time and please spend a whole day here. We don't have so much time. So thank you very much. So we already made the announcement of Chappal and Sultan. Those of you want, you can just keep it in that corner, and two devotees will 100% they will take care of your shoes. In what time? Huh? In what time? Yes. Till what time? That is also very important. So now it is 10:15. If drama and everything goes till becomes 10:35. If you walk from your 10:35 or 10:40, within 1 hour, 12 o'clock you can come back here. So the devotees will take care of your shoes till 12 o'clock, and then yes. So that is, and I was also told to make announcement that tomorrow we are going to Adi Badri, and there is also lot of walking over there. So those of you who are not happy or convenience with the walking, you can skip that place. Or you can just sit in the pandal, there is no need to walk to all the places. Just sit when you hear the lecture. Or you can just visit one spot, there are many other spots. You can just visit one spot and sit for lecture. That is Adi Badri. And on Saturday, we will have Prabhupada Disappearance Day, so we will not travel anywhere. On Sunday, there will be Govardhan Parikrama. So each group will follow.
Yes.
So we will all travel, do parikrama with our group. So there are 8 groups, they will also do parikrama together Sunday morning. And Sunday morning we also have seva of subject cutting. That subject cutting starts at 5:30. So those of you who want, please come at 5:30 in the pandal. Sit down, bro, please. Thank you, Shamananda. Thank you, Shamananda.
Hare Krishna. So for the present, we will have a small